Alright guys, so welcome back to another Patreon request, and this one comes from Lamonta Benson, who asked me to do a crossover between Sandman and Supernatural. Yep, I'm doing more Sandman stuff, and this is the one of the times I get to talk about Supernatural, which, while I'm not the biggest fan of, I still enjoyed. So this will be an interesting crossover. And it's actually kind of funny because last week I was reading an article talking about how the creators of Sandman had a lot of inspiration. The creators of Supernatural. The creators of Supernatural had a lot of inspiration from the Sandman books, and initially wanted to have to do a Sandman show. But yeah, so let's jump right on into it. So this story basically begins with Sam and Dean just at home, just chilling, when they get a summons from a raven, and they're like, "Oh, are we going to," like, Dean's all like, "Oh, are we going to Hogwarts?" And the raven goes, "No, jerk. Dream wants to see, the King of Dreams wants to see you." And he's like, "That bird just talked, Dean. Sam, that bird just talked." Yeah, Sam, that bird just talked. And so Sam and Dean Winchester are literally whisked away to the dream world, where they are encountered by Morpheus, and not only him, the Endless. And they're instantly like a little confused because they've met incarnations. Like when they encounter Death, they're like, "I met Death. That was he was like an old man, right? Like, and you're just kind of cute and you're kind of hot." And she's like, yeah, I have. You think I'm doing this all by myself? I'm everywhere and nowhere. I have incarnations of me everywhere. I do kind of outsource this to other people. So yeah, that was the Angel of Death. I am Death. So there's a difference. So basically, Dream brings the Winchester brothers together. Brings the Winchester brothers to him because he has a bit of a dilemma. The Endless all have a dilemma that only the Winchesters can solve. The Book of Destiny's been stolen, and what I mean is, Destiny, one of the eldest of the Endless, basically has lost his book. The Book of Destiny more or less writes down all the destinies in the entire universe of every living being, and it's been stolen. And they don't know, and the Endless can't seem to find it. So while they were looking through like heaven and hell and all of that, they basically come to this conclusion that they're like, "Hey, so do we know anyone that could get help to them, or help us find that book, because that's kind of important." And yeah, they actually like Dream when he's on the, sorry for the background noise. Basically, Crowley, when he was approached by Dream when he's looking for them, because it's like, this isn't the first time an Endless has lost something of theirs. So we're trying to wrap this up real quick. So Crowley's like, "Don't worry, I think I got somebody. I got someone, and I'll send them your way." So the Winchesters were basically like, "Fucking Crowley, man." So Dean basically asks, like, "All right, what do you want us to do? Where do you think we should start?" And Destiny is more or less like, the first place you should start, Hell. So Sam and Dean go down to Hell, and they encounter Lucifer. Now, what's interesting to note is that they basically talk about like how Lucifer is different from their there's like, Lucifer has made himself look like however he wants, and the Lucifer they've encountered is the same Lucifer that Sam and Dean have encountered, but Lucifer just makes himself look different every so often. He's like, Lucifer basically explains, "Yeah, I do this because I get bored. Like, I make myself look like however I want to. To some people I look like a blue meanie who's red and it has claws and listens to Rocky Horror Picture Show. Clear reference to that's a clear reference if you know who I'm talking about. So they're like, okay, so if you didn't take the book, why? Like, it makes the most sense you would. Like, you would want to change everyone's destiny, make yourself the new king of heaven. And he's like, tempting, but Lucifer's like, even I know that's a dumb thing to do. Like, that's a really stupid thing of messing with destinies and altering it. That would just be all-out war with the Dream Lord, and I already lost that, so not going to do that again. So Lucifer, however, points them in a proper direction. Like, he basically tells them, a power like that doesn't go unnoticed, and a power like that stolen doesn't go unnoticed, and you'll find the source soon enough. And sure enough, they're already finding that destinies are already being rewritten. Like, some people are written instantly dead, or like written that their lives are different. Like, Sam and Dean discover that the destiny of their mom is still, and she is both their parents are killed, and that destiny has changed, so now they're like orphans, and now that memory's kind of written in there. So after a little finagling and like trying to figure out what the hell's going on, they eventually discover who is behind all this, and it's the trickster, who was thought to be dead. I always funny enough, because funny segue here. The first episode I really got into watching Supernatural was the Scooby-Doo crossover. And yeah, they mentioned the trickster, and Sam mentions he's dead, and Dean goes, or is he? So I thought that'd be like a cool way to be like, yeah, let's use the trickster for this one. So the trickster more or less tricked Destiny to take the book, and now he's just like writing all his own destiny. So they more or less have to play a game. Sam and the trickster play a game similar to Lucifer and Morpheus's game, which leads to Sam beating him and getting the book back for Destiny and the rest of the Endless. And the trickster's all like, well, you beat me. Oh, well, I can always do another trick in the future. And that's when Morpheus shows up, and he's like, I think not. So what he does is put the trickster in a perpetual state of nightmares for the rest of his life, like an eternal sleep that will be nothing but nightmares for the rest of his days. So there you go, guys. That is pretty much my Supernatural Sandman crossover. I'd like to thank Lamonta Benson for sending me this request. There was another request, but it's more of a fan fiction, and I'm trying to find time to read it whenever I can. I'm very busy, and I'm going through a lot, so I try to do as much as I can. But I wanted to do this request as soon as possible. But as always, if you'd like to have a Patreon request done, just hit the link below, head on over to my Patreon, where if you hit the 4th tier, you can send me requests for videos to do here on YouTube. And also check out the exclusive content over on Patreon as well. But other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.